that's that's the thing that Christians have to do is they have to become stronger and say, I'm going to be consistent with this. I remember I started doing music again last year. I was 26. I'm 27 now. In March of last year, and I told God, you know, I told God, like, God, I'm going to give you this until I'm 30. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was 26, so that's 4 years. You know, I was like, I'm going to give you this till I'm 30. So I'm committed to doing this for at least 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing this since 2017. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at that point, 2017 to what, 4 years from 2020, so almost 10 years. So I have 10 years in doing this. You know what I'm saying? And then I can look back and I can see if I've made progress. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But if I'm not willing to put in that work, you know what I'm saying, and be consistent. And I'm not talking about, okay, God, I'm gonna drop an album every year. No, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna be on social media. I post TikToks 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Like unless something goes viral or something, I'm gonna post 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna give God something to work with. You
That's
know,
great.
and when I believe that when you give God something to work with consistently, not saying, oh, okay, well, I'll do this and I'll do that. Like I learned from the secular TikTokers. You know, um, they say uh, that you should post 4 to 6 times a day. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the time to do that. But I do have the time to do 3 TikToks a day.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have I'm not a creator that I just sit around and make TikToks all day. I work a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm definitely gonna post 3 times a day and I'm gonna be consistent. You know, I had 10,000 followers at the end of December, and I now sit at 15,000 in March. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And that's just consistency. You know, I
Yeah.
believe consistency beats being perfect every day. You know what I'm saying? But everybody wants to make perfect videos and perfect TikToks and release one song a month. And like, I'm just talking about my field. You know, they want to release one song a month and not do anything else. You know, everybody's supposed to just gravitate to you because you're Christian and you make music. No, like, no. It takes somebody 6 to 7 times to see something for
Yeah.
them to react. That's business marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so if I'm making 3 TikToks a day and they're seeing one of my TikToks a week, it's gonna take 6 weeks for them to be like, "Oh, who is this dude?" You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then I just hit 1,000 followers on Spotify today. You know what I'm saying?
Congrats.
Like it's just consistency, being consistent. I think that's it. You know what I'm saying, for believers, is that we got to get stronger and more mentally tough and decide we're going to be consistent. You know,
That's great.
so
That's well said. And just in anything, being consistent is very important. And I like the fact, you mentioned earlier, you just started, making some type of income, to sponsor yourself in terms of music. So how did you go about, sponsoring yourself in the beginning? I can only imagine it was tough. Like you said, it takes about 5 to 7 years for a business to get profitable. So how are you sponsoring yourself and being consistent in the beginning, to
yeah.
survive?
So last year, in November, no, 2020 in November, I knew I wanted to make a run with the music. I hadn't dropped anything in a while, and I took from November to March to just save money. I just saved money, um, and I planned out what I was going to do, different stuff like that. And I was like, all right, we're gonna go on a run. You know, that's kind of what I thought. And I dropped a few songs, but I hadn't learned the industry. I hadn't learned the industry of music. Now I feel like I have a way better grasp on it.
Hmm.
But that's something that I think was super important, is that as I was dropping songs, I was continuing to look at the stats, and I had already decided I was going to be consistent, so the stats didn't annoy me. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like me not seeing a lot of growth didn't annoy me because I was going to be consistent. And it's all about learning. All of the I drop songs and they would fail, they would completely flop. And I'll be like, dang, like this is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like I spent $1,000 on this song.
See.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, bro, I spent $1,000 and I got like 500 streams. That's $2. You know what I'm saying? But I was learning. God was teaching me, and then I was paying a bunch of money for beats and stuff like that. I was spending like $200 per beat, which is normal. But then God started to teach me like, hey, find some of these newer producers because they're going to be willing to sell you beats a lot, uh, lot less
Reasonable.
expensive.
Yeah.
And then God like hooked me up with the guy who was like $25 a beat. And you know what I'm saying? Like I started purchasing, you know what I'm saying? So I was learning as I went. You know what I'm saying? So, but I saved up money so that I could like invest in myself. I shot some music videos last year, but then what I realized is that music videos aren't even really the reason why artists grow. Like we think that, so we think, oh, I haven't dropped a music video at all this year, and I've doubled my streams since
Mm.
last year. So I did in January last year. I did 40,000 streams total throughout the whole year, which is not bad. Um, in January alone, I did 40,000 streams.
Wow.
And I didn't release a single music video. So I think it's all about learning your field. You know what I mean? Whatever field of business you're in, it's all about learning that field, and figuring out what the rules are to your field, whether that's e-commerce, whether that's a clothing brand. Like, what are the rules? How do people sell? How do you connect to new audiences? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you grow? I researched other artists. I watched their growth. I looked at their stats. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of music is playlisting. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have, and a lot of those artists who chase playlists don't really have an organic fan base.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a part of there's guys who have 40,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 monthly listeners, and I got more followers than they do on Spotify.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like they're bigger because they're on
Yeah.
playlists, but they really don't have a good fan base. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm growing a lot slower, but gradual. But like, I believe by the end of the year we're gonna have a big fan base from a bunch of different places. You know, so so that's kind of what I did is I continue to be a student, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
of my field, to try to learn the rules. But at first I just saved money. November to March, I saved about $6,000. And I just slowly invested that over time, um in into the music. And then I spent all of that last year. And then I was left back at zero. And like God was like teaching me, you don't need all that money. You don't need no $6,000. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you got to do is make the music. You make the music, you get on TikTok, you shoot your videos, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like that, all of my eggs right now are in the basket of TikTok. That's where artists are growing organic fan bases the fastest. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And that's different for clothing brands and different stuff like that. You got to learn whatever that is for your field. You know what I'm saying? But for my field, artists are freaking exploding on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? One day they're a guy working a job at Dollar General making music on the side. The next day they're a content creator, music artist, traveling, doing tours. You know what I'm saying? So it can change for you overnight. Um, so that's kind of the process of how that went.
Okay. That's great. And I mean, now, you said that you don't, post about going video. I guess, so what is your marketing strategy for those who want, who may be artists and want to get in? What would you say is a good marketing advice so you could start making some type of music off your music? And how do you go about
Um,
doing that?
the 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 first thing I say is don't look at. I had a meeting with some artists like in December, and they was like, "What advice could you give me?" Don't look at no stats for 6 months if you can't handle it, because you're not going to be able to see growth before 6 months. I said, I also said you're not going to be able to see sustainable growth until 18 months. I haven't even hit the 18-month mark as far as re-entering into the music market. You know what I'm saying? I took a break 2019, 2020, and then now I'm back 2021. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so don't look for any growth before 6 months. Don't look for any sustainable financial change until 18 months. And I haven't even hit that. I started in March. I'm not even a year. Um, I'm not even a year, and I already went from making, maybe a dollar or two a month to now I'm like anywhere from $300 to $500 a month. You know what I'm saying? And that's just off streams. Like, this is no merch. I'm not doing any shows right now. I'm not taking any features. And that's where a lot of artists try to make their money, is on features and stuff. I'm not doing any of that stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just focusing on me, really. You know what I'm saying? Focusing on creating music that I love and that I'm proud of. That's what I would be the main focus. If I was telling an artist. Two, I would say make as much music as possible. Um, don't I would try to find producers that create what you love, like the sound that you love, and buy as much of that stuff as you can. That's where you spend your money, is on like beats and different stuff like that, not on necessarily like marketing, I would say. Like
Okay.
music videos and all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't spend a bunch of money there, because no one really cares until you make good music.
Hmm.
um, until you start to grow a fan base. Like, you'll see toward the end of the year, I'll drop a bunch of music videos if my fan base starts to grow. You know what I'm saying? If you watch Caleb Gordon, me and Caleb Gordon are good friends. If you watch him, like, he dropped one music video a month sometimes whenever he first started. Like, it was really like every other month, for real. Where he dropped a music video every other month. You know, and that was and me and him talked, and he was like, Don, get on TikTok. You know, go crazy on TikTok. Don't sit around here and listen to what the rules of what they try to tell you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to do what they say you got to do as far as the rules. Learn the rules yourself. And then I started learning the rules, and I'm like, wow, TikTok is freaking powerful. You know what I'm saying? I seen in January where, like, I went viral on TikTok, and I went from 2,000 monthly listeners to 6,000. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm at 7,000, and probably at the end of April, I may crack 8,000. You know what I'm saying? So, and the growth is slow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I seen artists go from, don't get caught up in the playlisting, because the playlisting is not real fans. The
Hmm.
playlisting is a bunch of, they're not listening to your music because they like your music. They're listening to the playlist because they like the playlist. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, and,
Yeah.
and artists can be so focused on playlists. They're like, I got to get on this playlist. I got to pay these people to review my song to get on this playlist. No, you don't. Give your music to the one thing Caleb told me, and it stuck with me. Caleb said, don't give your music to the critics, give it to the people. And that stuck with me. Like, I was like, all right, don't give my music to the critics, give it to the people. Don't give it to the curators, the critics. Don't give it to them so they can critique your song and then you be discouraged because they say they don't want your song on the playlist. Like, no, give it to the people. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like drop as much music as you can. If you can do it every 3 weeks, if you do every 4 weeks, if you can do every week. You know what I'm saying? Get better. You creating as much music as possible is gonna make you better. You know what I'm saying? So create a ton of music so you can develop your craft and be the best artist that you can be. Um, that would be my only encouragement. And then release songs. Literally pull out your phone, find a soundbite you like in your song, record a video to it. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing that consistently. Do that 3 times a day. Post that 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? On TikTok. Post once a day on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like do that kind of stuff first. And then you can get into, once you develop your sound, what a lot of artists try to do is they want to release 6 songs a year, do one every other month. And I'm like, bro, or they want to drop an album. I'm like, bro, that is not the way. Like, Spotify literally said the music industry is changing. You can't
Yeah.
drop one album a year. You can't drop one song every other month and be successful in the music industry. Spotify, the owner of Spotify, said that himself. He was like, that the days of that are no more. Like, last year, guess how many songs Drake dropped?
Not sure. I'm not sure how many songs he's got.
36.
Wow.
Guess how many songs Taylor Swift dropped?
About 30 something too? 40?
40, 41.
Wow.
She dropped 3 albums last year. She dropped 41. Like
Wow.
that's
Wow.
completely nuts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
41 songs.
we don't know that. We don't realize that that's like the game is changing. Little baby dropped. You know, these are secular artists I'm talking about. Little baby dropped. I counted his. It was like 35 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
these artists are dropping. If they're dropping albums, they're dropping multiple. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know that's just yeah. I think Certified Lover Boy had 21 songs on it by itself. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
Wow.
So that doesn't count the singles and all that stuff he dropped throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? So that's the name of the game is to get as many songs out as possible, and you develop your craft that way. You get
Mm.
better that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the rules. Like that's what I'm talking about is like learning the rules of whatever your field is. You know what I'm saying? The rules are you can't drop once a month, once every 2 months anymore. Like that's the rules. And artists want to do that. What artists are doing is they're dropping once every 6 weeks and then trying to drop a music video with it and then trying to get on playlists. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they're like, dang, I didn't get on no playlist and my song did 1,000 streams. Dang, I need to stop doing music. No, you don't. You need to create more music.
Mm.
Stop worrying about don't spend $1,000 on a music video. Don't spend, $200 trying to get your song on Rapzilla's playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't spend that money. Get on TikTok, shoot you a video to your song on your phone, you know what I'm saying, and go crazy that way. And I've seen amazing growth like that. People, because I have so many different styles, I can relate to so many different people. That
Mm.
that was a rule before with music is that you had to have a style. You know what I'm saying? Because you were dropping one album a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you got to have a style. Now you don't have to have a style. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna drop, I'm dropping right now. I'm dropping every other week. If I'm gonna drop every other week, I can release a heavenly poetry type track, and then come back and release the trap record, and then come back and release a worship record, and then come back and you know what I'm saying? So the industry is just changing. Whatever field you're in, whether that's music or whatever, learn the rules, and the rules are changing for music. You know what I'm saying? So